Below her, the sea descends, falling into the abyss. A place that has forgotten sunlight. A place that makes its own stars. Darkness-loving creatures rise towards her to sift the Gulf Stream water for microscopic food. This nightly movement to the surface is the largest migration on Earth. And from the Caribbean to Florida, coral reefs cast their spawn into the current, just as plants release their seeds upon the wind. Such a flotsam of life is loosened into the Gulf Stream. Everything that cannot move itself is lifted and taken, channeled and directed north. But there are eddies lurking on the edge of the current, exit ramps into the unforgiving Atlantic. And those not strong enough to choose their own direction might find themselves suddenly abandoned. As dawn approaches, the night drifters sink downward, shunning all light but their own, going with the flow. The little turtle sleeps on, trusting in the sea, for it has brought her safely this far. She cannot know that an eddy has caught her raft, stolen it out of the Gulf Stream. And while so many others will continue their journeys north, she awakens to the sudden stillness of the Sargasso Sea. 3,000 kilometers wide, it is a stagnant sea in the middle of the North Atlantic. Without wind or current, the sailing ships of old were often marooned here for months. But today's ships don't need the wind and the current. The creatures of the raft were not magic after all, but small and fragile. Only the little turtle can survive without the raft. Alone now, she swims deeper and deeper into the stillness, further and further from the Gulf Stream. What drifts into the Sargasso Sea seldom leaves. The oil left by ships will be here for years. There is no tide to wash and cleanse the trails of blackness. Oil chokes young turtles. And what the land discards also collects here. How shiny it is. How tempting to a hungry turtle. And if she swallows it, she could die. Her hunger possesses her. She forgets everything but her need for food, even her fear. Delicate veils sway gently in the water and lure her in. The tentacles of the Portuguese man of war are venomous. They stun their victims, envelop and absorb them. But after sharing the ocean with them for so many millions of years, the turtles have developed an immunity to their stings and a taste for their rubbery tentacles. At last, she is not just prey, but predator. And now that she knows the rules, there's plenty to eat. Years pass in this forgotten sea. But what does a turtle care for a few lost chapters? Time for her is centuries, millennia. Her ancestors saw the continents form more than 200 million years ago. They survived the great cataclysms of asteroids and glaciers. They outlived their old foes, the dinosaurs. Time is for her to grow strong, for her shell to harden, and her skin to thicken. And so, she becomes an ocean traveler. Close to her 5th birthday, when she is nearly half a meter long, she suddenly charts a course away from the Sargasso Sea. As if her ancestors have reminded her. Her flippers, like wings, were made for traveling, not for staying. And she swims, sure and strong now. After several months, she rejoins the Gulf Stream, in time for the spring migration north. At last, she can continue her journey on the Great Current. She takes her place among the other travelers of the Blue Highway. The blue shark is here too. But the turtle is no longer afraid of her. She is bigger now, and her shell much harder. And the shark, now pregnant, is riding the Gulf Stream to the other side of the Atlantic, where she will give birth. It's a journey she will make every 2 or 3 years for the rest of her life. How fast and sure the blue shark swims, and how a young turtle might envy such confidence. Nearly 2,500 kilometers from her beach, she approaches the wild waters of the North Atlantic. Far out at sea, a spring storm brews. It sweeps toward the coast of Nova Scotia. Waves, bigger than whales, bigger than ships. In just a few days, they carry her several hundred kilometers northeast along her path. But the storm follows a different course to that of the Gulf Stream and takes her like a captive toward the shore. Exhausted, she cannot catch her breath enough to dive below the battering waves. She is thrown towards the rocks. Land reaches out to reclaim her, as if it has never forgiven her for leaving. The jagged shores of Nova Scotia will smash her shell open. They have claimed many turtles before. Sailors and fishermen too have died here. Only the lucky survive to continue their journeys. The storm has blown her off course, but she is not lost. A turtle is never lost. Using the magnetic lines of the Earth that run from north to south like invisible wires, she can determine her location anywhere in the sea. She has within her not just a compass, but a map of the ocean world. And a resolve to follow the path chosen by her ancestors, the safest passage they could find through a perilous ocean, to a distant and unknown destination.